Oh, we didn't tell you about. Good evening and welcome to the Chaska Human Rights Commission meeting of June 22nd, 2023. So first off on our agenda this evening is our roll call. Elise, would you call, please?
Commissioner Alidar, Commissioner Welbert. Here. Commissioner Hubbard. Commissioner Haga. Here. Commissioner White. Here. Commissioner Gotti. Commissioner LeSueur.
Here.
Commissioner Sanderson. Chair Carlson.
Here. Great. All right, so the agenda was sent to us. Are there any additions, changes, deletions, or comments?
Motion to adopt the agenda.
Thank you, Kaylee. So we have a motion to adopt the agenda. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes carry. So tonight we have a new commissioner. So welcome, Ren.
Thank you.
We set aside a little time for you to share a little bit about yourself, your passions, and anything else with our, not only here, but with our viewing public.
Sure. So, hi, Ren LeSueur. I have been in Chaska for 12 years now. And yes, I did say LeSueur. I know there is a town 20 miles that's LeSueur. I accept everything. So
I'll say my apologies already.
I should have clarified.
Correcting myself phonetically.
It's so funny. My family was here this last weekend, and of course they have to all go to LeSueur because they've got the country club, and you can get shirts that say LeSueur country that spell just like our last name, so it makes us seem like we're a big deal. Anyway, I've been in Chaska about 12 years. Been in Minnesota for 20 plus. My wife and I moved here to go to grad school. We thought we'd be here for 2, and we've just stayed. We love it. We love Chaska. I've got 4 boys. 3 of them have graduated from Chaska High School. My third just barely graduated, and another's a sophomore. I work at United Healthcare. I work in our Medicaid group in United Healthcare, and so really have a passion for working with some of the most vulnerable people that we in our country. And I'm really excited as now we've had kids leave the house, and all of a sudden I have this thing called time that I didn't have before. I was trying to find ways to how do I start to find other ways to be involved. And so that's why serving on the commission was really exciting. We feel like Chaska has helped our family so much, and so really wanted to find a way to give back. I'm super excited to be on the Human Rights Commission and find opportunities to give back. I have lots to learn, and I was saying the other day that I take feedback very well. So please give me feedback, or if there's things that I'm missing, I'm more than happy to. But really excited to meet you and get to know you and to serve. So.
Cool. We have several ideas for you to sign up tonight.
Awesome. Deal.
Okay. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you. We do not have any forum or guest presentation this evening. We've got lots to go over this evening. Not only from our very recent event, but also exciting activities for the upcoming year or the balance of 2023. So without further ado, we have 2 minutes to approve, one from April 27th and one from May 25th.
Is it appropriate to move both?
Yes, it would be if you so please.
I would move both minutes.
Kaylee has made a motion to approve the meeting minutes of April 27th and the May 25th, 2023 minutes. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Sienna. Is there any discussion? Okay, signify by saying aye.
Hi.
Thank you. Ayes have it. The treasurer's report. The very important treasurer's report. Where are we today? Elise.
Chair and commissioners, as you can have quite the updated budget since our last meeting. So just kind of starting at the top of June, I can kind of go through where we're at. The Pride Celebration budget, remember we started with $1,800 budgeted for that event. We've spent just under 1,200 of that. And you can see some of those Pride celebration supplies. We did pay for some of the t-shirts that were sold at the event on Saturday. And then we have just paid the invoice for the ice cream and then some additional supplies that we bought on Saturday. So it's about another $230, $240. So you'll see that reflected in next month's budget. So you will still have, some remaining balance that not spent, we can throw back into the budget then. Also, what came through is the name tags, the t-shirts that we all now have, and the driver's license for all room rental, which you approved at the last meeting. And then additionally, we've added the budget for River City Days. That was at $500. We did pay for the booth already, so that was a $50 charge there. So even though I put it under July, just because of that event happening then.
Ask a question.
Yeah.
So that the 666, which is making me laugh, that is not spent, right? That's just in here to have it.
Yep.
So that's the ice cream will come out of that.
Ice cream and the additional supplies will come out of that. I should have done the math before I came, but you probably have $400 left.
I'm gonna make a suggestion later, so I just wanted to make sure that we were doing all right. So, okay, thank you.
Any questions for Elise? If I hear none, then may I have a motion to approve the June 2023 treasurer's report?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Martin. There's no further questions. All in favor of approving the June 2023 treasurer's report signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes carry. Okay, so the business evening, the business activities of the day. So top off is our Dr. King celebration and our Human Rights Award. Jennifer, what good news do you have for us?
Our subcommittee met on June 13th. And we are going to meet with a couple folks from the school district on June 29th. Kelly Brenny and Chris Weaver are from the district. And we're going to discuss how the district can be involved in the Martin Luther King celebration at the different grade levels. Like whether it's art or they're doing the speech or whatever, but we'd like to have representation from the different levels if possible. And then our subcommittee will meet again on July 18th, possibly with our keynote speaker, Tracy Gibson. So
It's moving forward.
yes, so it's a short and sweet update, but
Great. Which reminds me, we should probably get our Human Rights Award nomination form out. Just so it's out there on the Facebook and people begin to see it and they can begin their thinking process. I don't think we really have anything to update on Women's Appreciation, do we, Martin?
We do not.
Okay. Pride celebration. So Sienna, Martin, who's doing the report?
That's me.
Oh, Pride. I am so sorry. I was
That's
thinking
all
River
right.
City Days.
I was like, Sienna, you want to give an update?
Well, first of all, Kaylee, thank you on behalf of the commission members, our community. Another terrific event. I'm so proud of us being on the front page, the second page, and the fourth page of Chaska Herald, talking about our Pride picnic, our driver's license for all, and being acknowledged as being a critical part of the city of Chaska. And so everywhere I looked on Saturday, I saw you. And so thank you.
Well, thank you. That was a total team effort. Thank you to everybody here volunteered,
Yes.
including our trooper Jen, who put in a good half of the day, which was awesome. So I have to start with thank yous, and then we can talk a little bit more about sort of some feedback and thoughts for next year. But I want to start out by thanking Hannah and Jen, who are part of the planning group. We couldn't have done it without the support of Parks and Rec. So shout out to Aaron and Alyssa. They certainly gave a lot of logistical support and provided some really amazing volunteers for the event. It was so great to partner with them and have some new faces welcoming folks. The Cassie Bernhardt and the Chaska High School GSA, those kids are so enthusiastic. And Cassie just is, her community art project was so cool. It was, I think, Brenda, I don't know if you were able to make it, but it was a sort of a paint by number of the Human Rights Commission logo.
Oh, cool.
With some other pieces to it. And so we will pull all of that together. I think it'll be much easier to travel places
Yes.
and reassemble. Cassie took that with her because she was going to put some finishing spray on it and seal it. And but I think it is just as meaningful as last year's, a little bit more easy to transport and present. So a huge thank you to them. The Carver County Public Library was super awesome. They their button maker made it till the last 5 minutes of Pride, and they felt bad that it busted. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, it was such a popular spot. It was really fun watching kids talk about books and interact with folks. We had some help from Carver County Mental Health, had a booth there. Ellie Krug was there with a booth. Shepherd of the Hill was there doing an art project, which is awesome. And Sweet Salon and Barbershop out of Chan was doing some great giveaways. So I'm super grateful to all those folks, Juana Zayek, who donated the jewelry supplies. And then I have to give a really special shout out to Zach Sauersig, because he showed up, pinch hit. We couldn't find a DJ, and he's like, well, I have a couple speakers and my iPod, and I've done this before. And he was just so fantastic. And he really did a great job of kind of working with the crowd and collecting requests. And he and his daughters were great volunteers the whole time. So when I asked
He
him,
appreciated his DJ name also. He said it was DJ Minivan Dad or something. It was
That's
it
very
was a
appropriate.
great name.
no, when I asked him, I said, are you sure we can't provide you with any compensation? And he just said, can I just get my daughter's t-shirts? So we will take care of that for sure. But event like that doesn't happen without a lot of partnerships and a lot of hard work from people. And somebody's husband scooped all kinds of ice cream for most of the day. So I just, we didn't know how it was going to go, right? They were predicting rain earlier in the week. And so I was kind of holding my breath on that, and not being downtown. It felt like it was about the same size crowd as last year. We were closer together, so it felt bigger in some spaces, more crowded. I think it was nice to see. It can be very lonely and isolating to grow up in a suburban area and identify as LGBTQ plus, and to see all of the families there and all of the teenagers and young adults there. Just being in community and supporting each other was really special. And so I'm continue to be grateful for the city's support of the event, and that the Human Rights Commission continues to carry that banner forward. So thank you to all of you. We have not had a chance to come together as the subcommittee yet. So I think we will do that to do some thinking and proactive planning for next year. I do have some, do we expect that we're going to be back downtown by next summer? I don't mean to put you on the spot, Elise.
There's a lot of things happening in the works right now.
Okay, so we're not sure. I think it'll be good to be back on a Sunday afternoon. I think food trucks and things like that are more challenging on a Saturday in the summer. So we'll keep an eye on when Pride is scheduled for 2024 and figure out how we can balance that. I think maybe 2 to 5 instead of 3 to 6 feels a little bit, especially if we're in a situation where we don't have food trucks, would be a good thing to think about in terms of scheduling next year. But I think we're at a point where if we wanted to be bigger, we could. If we decided that we wanted to expand our footprint a little bit, I think we would need to think about more significant recruitment of sponsors. That tie-dye station is super popular, and Sarah told me that kids were wanting t-shirts, not the bandanas, and that might be an opportunity for somebody to sponsor that particular station. whether they provided branded t-shirts or just the money for it. But I think there's lots of opportunities there. We've got a great, I think, sort of template. And really, as we look to next year and planning for next year, I think we continue to build momentum and excitement and draw from surrounding communities, because there just isn't a whole lot in the Southwest Metro around Pride. So thank you to everyone. Thank you to everybody that came. And the Mayor Winchell was there, and Mayor Johnson from Carver was there. Representative Ream was there. Commissioner Uterman was there. So I just always appreciate when folks show up in community spaces to let people know. And the fire department,
Yeah.
everybody can't, like, it was, and one of the fire people she got her face painted and everything. And so, and they were really walking around and interacting and engaging with folks. The police department certainly provided support for the event too. So just super grateful when we talk about community, that Chaska continues to work really hard to live up to what that means. So I will stop yammering now.
So, just great. Just another terrific event that when I think about, for those of us who've been on the commission for a little bit, well, our first Pride event and our second Pride event, and this is, it's pretty amazing. I'm so grateful for all of our work. So Juhi and Sienna and Martin and Jen and Hannah, who's not with us this evening, but
And Elise, who carried all kinds of tables.
yes, and Elise,
You're a rock star.
you are, you really were. So thank you, thank you.
I don't know if anybody else is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, anybody else want to say anything about Pride?
I just thought it was fantastic. I mean, all I heard from anyone who I talked to were wonderful feedback. I heard people that had really appreciated and noticed that there were more community partners this year. And they appreciated different things, the library stuck out quite a bit in the comments, especially for some of the little kids. They got to go home with a book.
Yeah.
And that was amazing, and so they thought that was so cool. I did get feedback from those parents too, that they kind of liked having it at Midnight Park because there was a playground. There was not a downtown area around the park. So if the kids ran, they weren't going out into the traffic. But they said, if it moves back downtown, they'll still, attend and everything. But they did appreciate that it was kind of blocked off a little bit. I don't know. It just seemed like everyone was in such a great mood and had so much fun with each other. And it just made you happy all day. So.
Juhi, any comments?
This is my first time helping at the Pride picnic, and I did not expect what actually happened there, but I was pleasantly surprised by everything, and I had a really great time helping at the tie-dye booth. And the people that I was working with, I had never met them before, but they were wonderful people, and I really had a great time. So great first experience for me.
Excellent. Sienna, you and I are going to get a little step stool. So that we
Please.
can, yeah.
It's a little hard scooping ice cream when you have to stay on your tippy toes the whole time. But
I kept asking if you needed a break, and you're like, no, I got it.
it was fun, but gotta work at it. But overall, I think, you didn't ask for my opinion, but I'm gonna say it anyways.
Yes. I want to.
It was great. First off, kudos to all the people who are on the subcommittee. It was great. You guys put a lot of work into it, so that was great. And it turned out to be a really good event. It was really nice. And like Jen said, it's nice to see everyone so happy and stuff. And it really, really shows what our community is capable of doing. And it's really nice to know that there's so much support out there. And I think that was great for all those people who went. And I think it was great. I just love seeing it, grow each and every year, and can't wait to see what happens next year. But I think it was great.
My turn. I wasn't there last year. and I came towards the middle, towards the end. It was nice to see the turnout. It was nice to see city officials there to support. And we really appreciated, my son is 8, so we really appreciated being in the park so he can go and play with the other kids. I just think it was fantastic. I think everyone did a great job. So I'm excited to see what happens next year. A band, a parade.
Okay. I am reminded that I should thank Councilwoman Hubbard, who continues to man that tie-dye station, which I don't want to be anywhere near. This is their 3rd year running, and I hope she didn't come home with multicolored hands this year.
She did. I saw.
Okay. We tried. We had gloves.
She really wears it as a badge of honor. She loves it.
She does. She does.
Thank you, everybody.
Were there any suggestions that came from the committee that you wanted to bring to our attention this evening?
So we haven't had a chance to meet and kind of
Okay.
debrief.
So you wait?
I think
Okay.
the timing and moving it back to a Sunday, and then we'll see kind of where the downtown situation shakes out for next year.
You mentioned honorariums.
Oh, yes, thank you. Zach doesn't want anything more than t-shirts, so I think we can work with the GSA and figure that out.
Okay.
But the other thing that I wanted to do is I would like to give at least $100 honorarium to the face painter. She spent all day working hard. She didn't ask for anything. She just volunteered her time. She's, I think, a current high school student. I don't think she's a graduate. At any rate, I would love to be able to do that as a thank you. She certainly provided a service, and if we were hiring a face painter, we'd be paying a whole lot more than that. So
It's a lot of fun, like interacting with people and stuff. I was over near her and I was like, wow, they're having a lot of fun over there.
So we'll just confirm once the budget numbers are finalized. I think we'll be fine, but we'll work with Elise to get that.
Wonderful.
Do we need to make a motion for that or anything?
Because it's part of the already approved budget. We're
Approved
Yeah.
budget, so we'll just put it in there.
as long as if we were going over, I think we
Yeah.
need a motion.
Okay, now I can look at Martin and Sienna and ask, what about River City Days?
Well, we haven't quite met yet since the last meeting,
Oh, okay.
but hopefully we're meeting soon.
We're gonna meet 4. No, I think.
Give Sarah a heart attack. Please don't.
Yeah, because we have our Human Rights Commission meeting that night.
Well, then there's your update on that same day. No. So I think we pretty much have everything set. They were still working on questions. So I think we spend the next couple of days or the next couple of weeks kind of compiling all that, putting it together and ready to go. Did you by any chance purchase?
I haven't yet, but it's on my list, and I was waiting till we got a little closer, but I think we'll have plenty of time, so.
So it'll be set. We're doing Jeopardy. One question I do have for our commissioners who aren't on that committee, how many of you will be here that weekend? That's really going to decide how much work we can do, the 3 of us.
As far as I know, I'm here. I'm also volunteering at the Rotary Wine Tent, and they have a couple of other volunteer obligations. So the sooner we have the sign-up sheets, so I will be here, but I want to make sure that I'm
I got you.
getting signed up for our booths too.
I will
Yes.
be here Friday. I
Friday.
have something going on Saturday.
I'll be here Friday and Saturday. But like Kaylee, I have a commitment to the person who dipped the ice cream and the Rotary organization. It was kind of like, if you can,
Tit for tat.
yes, if you come to do this, then I will come and support Rotary. So, but yes, of course, my priority is human rights.
We have all kinds of priorities, but I think on Friday, we haven't talked about this yet, but I think on Friday night, it probably would just be an informational booth.
Okay.
And then Saturday, our Jeopardy game. To make it easier on everyone.
So I understand that transportation buses will be scheduled. So rather than parking on the miscellaneous streets near Lions Park,
I don't know all the details because they run River City Days nonprofit. I would assume they are engaging Southwest Transit to run buses. Because parking will be tight because it's at Lions Park this year. So I'll let me do a little research, find out kind of what that is. I will send out a sign up sheet as well early next week, and then you can sign up for the times. 2-hour slots. Does that make sense?
Two or three.
I think I'm okay with whatever. I think I will probably be there all day. Not just just because I'm taking a day
yeah.
off, so I'll be there, but two work.
You're the one that.
Sure, and then if
all
we
of us
hang
home.
around longer.
When people are hoarding candy, you're the one that keeps the rest of us chill.
I found cases of candy, by the way.
Did you?
I did.
Well, that's
They're all
wonderful.
sealed. They'll be unsealed that day. But yeah,
Okay. Great.
so 2 hours that work, at least 2 hours.
2 hours. It's always hot that weekend, right?
It will be hot. It's a guarantee. It's
And
River
I
City
think the
Days.
mosquitoes will be worse probably over at Lions Park is my guess.
Yeah.
So
I think we should probably find out too, from the River City Days Committee, like the organization, how they want to handle setup. Like showing up, like, can you park at Lions Park for a certain amount of time and then will they have buses back to the park at that time?
I know that I talked with River City Days yesterday at the farmer's market, and they will have Southwest Transit doing bus service from the transit center on 41. And Cooper's parking lot. So those two locations will be pickup, drop-off places. But I don't know about short-term, setting up the booth, setting up the tables. I don't know anything about that yet. I think that's what we'll have to look to Elise to provide for us.
Sounds good. We'll figure it out.
I'd also like to clarify if we're gonna have water. Okay,
Water and chairs.
Yes, we didn't have, yes, we had chairs last year, but I don't know how we got them. Did you bring them? Somehow we got chairs last year.
I think the city brought
The
them.
city usually brought them. Well, I'll have to
Just-
kind of understand what's happening this year, given the change in venue and.
Okay, great. Well, Sienna and Martin, it stands to reason if you need any help, please let us know. Okay.
I think 3 of us have it.
Juhy's-
Juhy's on it.
Oh, okay, the three, okay, all right. Did you want to add anything, Julie?
I think we covered pretty
Okay.
much everything.
All right. Cultural Heritage Month. 2 updates to provide. Miriam is not here this evening, but we are proceeding with our cultural appreciation event for September through 2 events. The first will happen on September 8th, and that is our cultural appreciation event to recognize and build bridges to the countries that are home from Africa. So we initially decided it was going to be East African, and then we thought, no. Yeah, many folks here in Chaska that have come from Africa, and we should acknowledge all of that. So that will be held at the Chaska Event Center. Initially, we have some expenses coming in that would include the Cultural Institute that would have an exhibit, a weaving exhibit, the Somali Museum of Minnesota with artifacts, a dance performance of from various countries in Africa. We're looking for finger type food perhaps catering. So we have some resources for that. And the Kenyan organization is also looking to provide some support to us. So we're quickly moving forward on that event. Miriam and I are the commission members that are part of that. I just looked his way.
I didn't even catch it. I really looked at this way and I was like, who's she like asking to volunteer him to be on this committee?
So thank you, Ren. I'll make sure, Elise, can you make sure that he gets on our links for phone calls with Kevin Wright? And then the other event that we're a part of, but not sponsoring, is the Latin Music and Food Festival. I believe that date is September, is that the 15th?
I think it is. Let me just verify.
Well, while we wait for confirmation of that date,
September 22nd.
22nd, okay. So at that, we will be having a booth featuring the countries of Central America. So initially, I think we'll have who are those countries and identify any specific events or cultural activities that particular country contributes to the world. So, and that is that a Friday evening?
Yes.
It is. So, so we'll be somewhere on the Fireman's Park sidewalk. And I don't have much more than that about that event. But in November,
We're actually.
in October, excuse me, not November, we want to celebrate one other cultural event and heritage from, and that Kaylee has volunteered to head up.
Indigenous Peoples Day, which is October 9th, which is a Monday. So I don't know that it will be on, but I'm going to reach out to some folks through the district. And I know you have a contact as well. I've talked to him at River City Days at length, I think. I'm guessing, given we're not sure that we're going to be downtown next year, the downtown is still not going to be an option this fall.
No.
Okay. So I think we will pull folks together and think about what that might look like this year, with the hopes that I do think that we should keep on our radar something around a permanent memorial around the burial mounds once the dust is.
Currently working with through the process right now. So we're learning kind of what their interests are and that sort of thing. So we'll be able to kind of report back later.
At some point in time, the Human Rights Commission put together a pamphlet that I know we have in the file. It was in the River City Days box for a while about the Ionian aged Indian mounds. So that might also be something that we would want to take a look at and update as appropriate.
More to come.
More to come. Great.
Do you need, excuse me, do we need money or something allocated to these 3 events?
The answer would be yes. I submitted a grant to the Chaska Lions Club. I revised the grant and have submitted it. The Lions organization said that they did not receive our first grant application. And so I resubmitted it, detailing the celebration of African culture, solely that item, because I thought that's where we would need to have the money, considering our balance that's due, or balance that we have, excuse me. So I think by next month, I can come back and say, these are the specific dollar amounts that we will need for these events. And we'll take it from there. If that answers your question, Martin.
Does.
Okay, not unless you know somebody who wants to donate like money to us. We'll work on it. Anything else? Okay. Communities of belonging. Jen, do you want to talk about it? You want me to?
I have not been to the meetings because I've been out. So, and I did talk to Patrick about that. I'm gonna have to step away for a little bit till I'm done with my physical therapy and rehab. And then I will be back
Okay.
in on that.
So Elise, I think you were copied on the most recent correspondence. I believe that communities of belonging, we've discussed this and we would like to proceed, or they would like to proceed with a, I believe it's a total of 3 hours.
Yes, the capacity building workshop.
Capacity building workshop. And certainly members of the Human Rights Commission are invited to attend. I believe that date is August 1st. Do you have that in front of you, Elise? I'm sorry, I should have written it down.
It's August 2nd.
August 2nd. It is a in-person event. It'll be training provided by the YMCA. And it seems like it's a good step for the Communities of Belonging initiative. So I'll make sure that or Elise, if you can, send that information to all of us.
I think it's gonna be at the Carver County building,
Yes.
right?
In the Public Health Department.
Yeah, okay.
No, excuse me, in the County Commissioner's room. Yeah. So that's August 2nd.
Is the whole community invited to that, or are there specific?
It is. I can't do the entire Communities of Belonging initiative justice. Can you, in 2 sentences or less?
Well, Carver County Public Health has grant opportunities or money available to the different communities within Carver County to figure out what communities of belonging means to them. So we've been working with the YMCA, talking about, things we'd like to see or things that help you feel welcome or part of a community or things like that. And through those discussions, part of it has been like, well, we've talked about a lot of ideas. We'd like to kind of move forward a little bit more. So now we're at a point with the YMCA where they're helping us to figure out some ways to move forward and actually implement some of the things that we'd like to see. That's different from the Human Rights Commission, but it's just a community gathering so that you can have discussions about what's important, as neighbors and people that live together, even despite our differences, and to celebrate our differences.
Great.
Is that kind of what
It
you were
does.
thinking?
Yes,
Okay.
very good, thanks. Anything else about that? I don't think so. Communications. I wanted to share with you that Bob Ripke wrote me and said, congratulations on another terrific Pride event. He was sorry that he was unable to attend, but was most appreciative of our efforts. And then I also heard from, and this is just Lucy Ream had received notification that we were doing or co-sponsoring the driver's license for all. And she was favorably impressed with our efforts to partner with the Mikasa organization and Unidos to bring that educational opportunity to our community. Do we have any other communications? Anybody else hear anything? Okay. Any new business?
I don't know, you got a lot of business.
We do. We do indeed. Speaking of driver's license for all, each of you were provided with a copy of the, this is the English version of one of the documents that was handed out at the first driver's license for all class. There were other documents, all in Spanish, but were greatly received. Did I tell anybody about that event? We had about 15 people for our first class. Discussion was wonderful. I was assured that by the time our classes come around in July, that they will be much more attended than just the 15 that came to our June class. Any of you who are welcome to attend and come on that day, on those days. So each class will be a basic repeat each time because new folks will be coming in. But all keenly interested and thankful that the class was being offered. So.
And the Herald had a great summary of what the class is about and what the feedback was from it.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
if you get a chance, then read that.
Also on the front page of our Chaska Herald. Let's see, anything else for us this evening? Our next meeting date is Thursday, July 27th, the day before River City Days, right? So, Ren, any questions for us?
No, I'm really excited. It's amazing all the work that you're doing. Holy cow. We are doing.
There you go. There you go.
We're glad you're here.
Thanks.
Hey, Kaylee and I talked about mountains being moved. And it's pretty amazing what we've done just this year alone. But when I fold in the last 2 years, I'm really impressed. And we're halfway through the year now, I think. And I just can't wait to see what the rest of the year brings us and obviously what next year brings us. So glad you're with us, Ren. Juhi, do you have anything?
I was just wondering.
Yes.
It's listed in the paper, actually.
Oh, in the newspaper, but yes, they're at the Chaska Moravian Church. They're from 10 to 12 on July 8th.
July 8th, July 22nd, August 26th, September 9th, September 16th.
Juhi, do you want the address?
I think I can.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
It's right across the street.
Okay. Sienna, anything, any ads, any?
Nope. I
No,
don't
you're
think
good?
so. I'm good.
Okay, Kaylee,
No,
Martin,
Thanks.
okay. Well, if there's no other business to come before us this evening, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. I'm sure we're all in favor. Thank you so much.
Got it. Oh, we're off.
Okay.